Hello, everyone. Welcome to Off the Charts, episode 201. My name is Dan. Before we start off, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Hit that little thumbs up and that little bell. But thank you just for watching. So today I'm going to be doing another one of my revisiting forgotten bands. Today is going to be a twofer because they've only got two albums each there, so we'll make it it's I find the backstory of these bands more interesting than the music itself. These are bands that I've actually, by doing some research, I've actually when discovered stuff regarding these guys here. So first band from the 70s, these guys are called Detective. Maybe you never even heard of these guys. But I bet you've heard about some of their members. Anyway, so they formed in 1975 and disbanded in 1979. I think they sound a little like Led Zeppelin, just not as catchy, I guess. These guys can play, but there's missing that hit single. So the band is formed of Michael DeBars on vocal. That's probably the most popular name, and we'll get into Michael DeBars a little later on here. Michael Monarch on guitar. Fuck, I just spat on my arm. Tony Kaye on keyboards. Bobby Pickett, not that Bobby Pickett, but just Bobby Pickett on bass, and John Hyde on drums. So I said that they sounded like Led Zeppelin. Well, they're also on Led Zeppelin's record label, which is Swan Song. So this is the interesting part here. I actually learned this not too long ago. So this is their first album, Detective, from 1977. They're a rock band. The second one's a little bit heavier, but yeah, this is rock, verging lightly on hard rock, I guess. So there's the recognition's not bad. They're like, musician wise, they can play. But was it Wild Hot Summer Nights is actually a decent instrumental here. And Detective Man's decent also. See, I'm using the word decent. None of them go, wow. So, but what I actually discovered on this, and if you're a Kiss fan, this may interest you. So before we start off that little story, there we go. There you go. So this is on this album. There's a song on side 2 called "Ain't None of Your Business." Okay. Now, this is from 1977, and these guys did tour with Kiss for their second album. So during the Destroyer for Kiss Destroyer recordings, they actually recorded a song called "Ain't None of Your Business." And just by searching this, like, that's kind of where I was like, oh my God, I actually didn't realize I own "Ain't None of Your Business," the original. Well, the original. There's more to the story here. This gets complicated here. So before Detective, Michael DeBars and I guess Michael Monarch were in a band called Monarch, and they had a song called "Ain't None of Your Business." So back in the Destroyer era for Kiss, which was 1975, 76. Anyway, this album was 1977. So they went and recorded a demo version of "Ain't None of Your Business." And I remember my friend Yan and I, as younger teens, oh my God, "Ain't None of Your Business." Like, we knew the title. And then we're like, oh my God, that sounds like a cool song. Until we heard it, fuck, it's fucking terrible. So I can see why it was not, but it's a little bit better on this one here. So I guess it was composed by Monarch. Then Kiss wanted to use that or cover that version. Bob Ezrin said no. So Detective put it on their first album. Anyway, this is their first album. Decent. But yeah, that's the big interesting story regarding Detective, was that Kiss sort of demoed a cover song of Detective for the Destroyer, which is called Ain't None of Your Business. Don't bother looking on, unless just out of curiosity, don't go to YouTube for looking at for the Kiss version of Ain't None of Your Business. It's not very good. So anyway, 1977, the first Detective. Then comes 1977 also, Detective. It Takes One to Know One. This is their second album from the first year. This is the one where Kiss brought them on tour. It's heavier by a lot, not really, but there's again missing that wow song, that single, that I find the drummer really sounds like whoever's recording this here, like they really wanted the John Bonham sound here, because in the first one and this one here, really sounds like Led Zeppelin, and a few songs here and there. So that's album number 2. Then they recorded album number 3. The record company was like, we need more singles, but it never got released. Apparently it's recorded, so I'm guessing 78 there was like an in-studio live album, like on a radio show there. But I guess 1979 would have been the third album. I guess it's not really an interest for a third one for this year. So there you go. But the claim to fame for this band is the singer slash, I guess, fuck, I'm really spitting out my words today. Singer slash actor Michael DeBarz. And you guys may know his wife, Pamela DeBarz, who is pretty much known as the groupie from the 70s. Yeah, she's pretty much well known across the rock world for being the groupie. So yeah, those two were married at one time. Michael DeBarz went on to act. I think he's best known for MacGyver, but Detective, it's like, I mean, the more I listen to it, it gets better, but a little bit better, just a little bit. But I did find it pretty cool that Ain't None of Your Business. I'm like, oh my God, that's where that's from. It's a semi cover, I guess. So anyway, for you Kiss fans, that would be the only worthwhile track there. Like I said, they're good musicians, but they're good musicians doesn't really make you good at composing songs. You know what I mean there? So anyway, that's Detective. Now for part 2, talked about the Led Zeppelin. I talked about Led Zeppelin a little bit earlier, being they sound like Led Zeppelin, and they're on the Swan Song record label. Well, after Led Zeppelin, John Bonham died, Zeppelin split. So supergroup came out of this, which is The Firm. So these guys right here. Who is The Firm? Well, first of all, they were not around for a long time. They were active between 1984 and 1986. Was known as one of the earlier super groups. It comprises of Paul Rogers on vocals and piano, sometimes guitar, acoustic guitar. You may know him as the singer from Free, and after that, Bad Company. When Bad Company folded, I guess let's go and form The Firm. Then on guitar, well, you got Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin. The reason I bought these two albums was because of the bass player, Tony Franklin, who does bass and keyboards and would later on go to become one of my favorite bass players and also on Blue Murder. So there's the reason I bought these two albums was literally just because of Tony Franklin. Nothing to do with Paul Rogers, Jimmy Page. And last but not least, on drums, you have Chris Slade. Who's Chris Slade? Well, you remember the video for AC/DC Thunderstruck? You know, boom, boom. The guy, the bald guy there, kind of didn't look like he was ever in the band before. Well, he did that one album. So yeah, Chris Slade is on drums. So 1985, they had, actually, I do like the album cover here. It's actually pretty neat here. It scored minor hit Radioactive. What was the other one here? Satisfaction Guaranteed also had a video. But the rest, I listened to this and it just falls a little flat. For a super group, I find this sound just a little flat at times. There's some great bass playing. Again, that's the reason I bought it. Radioactive is a decent single. Is it anything close to what Free, Bad Company, or Led Zeppelin has done in the past? Not even close. So here's their first one from 1985. 1986 would come out with Mean Business, which I find actually a little bit better. There's some All the King's Horses. Oh, fuck, I should have brought, I have a 45 of that upstairs. Live in Peace. That's another great song. My old band used to play, well, we tried anyway. It's pretty easy, but it's a very well composed song. Tear Down the Walls. I just like this one a tad more. Which one? Yeah, anyway, but not as flat as the first one, but I find this one just to be a little bit more as a whole. I don't know, I find it very much more coherent anyway. But yeah, that's The Firm. So again, two albums and bye-bye. Apparently they say the plan was to only last for two albums. How convenient. But anyway, I'm just curious to see, you guys actually know of Detective? I'm sure most of you may have heard of The Firm. But as Detective goes, you know, did you guys know the music? The Firm, I'm sure there's more people that would probably know The Firm more than Detective, but I could be wrong. It's decent. Is it something I would recommend to people? No. Am I happy I have them? The Firm, I'm happy I have them just because of, again, I do love Tony Franklin's bass playing. I did not like fretless bass before until I started listening to him there. So anyway, that's my two. It's not hair metal at all. It's rock verging on hard rock. And not much of an excuse to actually show these two bands on. So yeah, for Mean Business, self-titled, Detective, It Takes One to Know One, and self-titled. Kind of related by 6 degrees of separation, I guess, there. But anyway, yeah, just curious to see if you guys actually knew these guys. Do you like them, dislike them, whatnot there? So anyway, that is my short episode for today. More to come soon. I got some good stuff coming in the mail. So on that note, thank you guys for watching, and we shall see you guys next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.